Das ist Frank Turner.
Hey, this is Brian Down.
Hello, Adam Green.
Hi. Thanks for having me on the show.
Hello,
Hi.
Welcome back again. Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yes, Commentaries live at Glastonbury. Yeah, big up.
Und ihr hört the Common Talk Podcast.
And you're listening to the Common Talks podcast.
Okay, so welcome to the Common Talks podcast, episode 19. It's this time it's just me and Circa Waves.
Hello.
Hello. Nice to have you. First time I recognized you was when you were in Berlin supporting the Libertines.
Yep.
That was about 3 years ago, I think. What was it like to tour with the infamous Libertines? Are there any special moments you want to share with us? Or
Yeah, there was, obviously for us they were a really important band growing up. So we were big fans of them when we went on tour, and it was your birthday.
It was my birthday on the Berlin show.
So before we went on stage, like Pete and Carl came into the dressing room with a cake, like sang happy birthday to Joe and like chucking him up and down. And it was like a really sweet moment where we kind of like hung out and had a few birthday beers. It was good.
It was like, we've done a lot of support slots, but that was the first one where I was like a full fan and just had to spend the entire time suppressing how much I love that band and stop myself. And it's a thing that happens whenever you're around any other band and you know any of their songs. You can't help but get their songs stuck in your head, and so it's really easy to start humming other bands' songs around them. So I found myself on the Libertines tour just like humming a little bit next to one of them, and then having to like turn it into something else to try and avoid the embarrassment of just singing their songs to them all the time.
yeah, that's about 3 years ago, and now Circa Waves is a big name too. When did you first realize that this is really happening, that you became...
I think when we sold out Brixton Academy, I think was when I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. That was a good moment, and I feel like since then it's just been kind of like going from strength to strength, hasn't it, really?
Yeah, I think just like for me it's those things as well, like hearing your song when you're on the radio, or just when you're in a bar somewhere and you're sat down and you just go, oh shit, that's me. That's always like, you always forget that other people are there listening to your music, and then until you're forced to listen to it yourself.
That must be a cool moment.
Yeah, it's fun.
And was it always your goal to be one of the big players in the music business, or did you never intend that?
I think we started out with just wanting to do it and just wanting to get our foot in the door and wanting to tour and play for people. And then I think as time's gone on, I think our ambitions increased, and we now just want to keep going. We want to be one of the, we want to be one of the biggest bands, around, and we want to get to headline festivals. We've got a taste for it now. It just tastes really good. It's never quite enough. So yeah, we have a lot of ambition.
Okay, what music are you listening to at the moment?
At the moment, what am I listening to? What are you listening to?
There was a lot. So this week there was a lot of new records from young UK bands that came out this week. So I've been checking those out, like the new Blaneven record, which is pretty cool. The new Big Moon record and the new Happiness record all came out at the same time. So I've been working my way solidly through them. My girlfriend listens to Cigarettes After Sex quite a lot, which I've been really enjoying. It's quite chilled out.
I've just been doing DJ Shadow.
Well, and
I went back to introducing me and Joe, the drummer in Heaven. We're chatting some about music yesterday, and we're both like, "Man, that's such a good album."
There's been
so I downloaded it, and it's incredible.
Because we're sharing a tour bus with In Heaven. There's been a lot of like music sharing, and it goes in all sorts of directions. Really, like either we do some like nostalgic things where we were listening to At the Drive-In yesterday.
Yeah.
And you were like showing James and Chloe Angelica's Elegy.
Yeah.
And then also the two drummers started listening to like Motley Crue the other day. just because they have a bit of a soft spot for like.
Okay.
Or like 100 Reasons.
Yeah, so it's been a tour of like, oh, do you remember this? Like we had a big nostalgic bit on the bus last night.
Yeah.
Like loads of old Biffy Clyros and Finch. Just stuff from like when we were like teenagers.
That must be a tour bus thing. This is what Skinny Lister told us also. That they always, on the tour bus, they are always this
I think
80s and 90s stuff.
there's a lot of when you're like controlling music for a lot of people. I think there's a lot of pressure to like do a crowd pleaser, and so instead of playing something that you like that's new that might not go down that well, it's just best to.
I always do, like every time I'm in charge of the stereo, I look up about half an hour later and everyone's just left it. Like every time. I don't do crowd pleasers, I just put on what I want.
Yeah.
And then slowly people just filter away. And go, oh, okay. Just me and the jazz then.
Yeah.
Your current album, Different Creatures, was released this year and it was produced by the legendary Alan Moulder, who did Smashing Pumpkins and U2 also. Is it hard to push through your own ideas of songs towards such a legend? Does he?
No, I think Alan's really open. I think like going in, obviously you're worried about he's such a big name and he's done some huge albums. But like working with him, it never felt like there was any tension between two ideas. It was very much it was very collaborative. Like he was up for trying even stuff that I think he knew wasn't going to work. He was always up for trying it. I think, which is quite good. I think it's quite good to do that.
I think for someone who in theory should be really intimidating to work with, he was the complete opposite.
Yeah.
It's,
and we just talked about football quite a lot.
Yeah.
No, we just did that. It's like, alright, cool.
Yeah, I just kept going. So what's Billy Corgan like? Just like every now and again, you just.
What's Trent Reznor like?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't help yourself. But he's just really fun to work with, and I think it was very collaborative, and I think he was the perfect person to work with on that record. Definitely.
And does he tell us something about it? How was Billy Corgan, or does he keep it?
Yeah, he's. I mean, I won't go into it, but he's good. He's got this really good way of sort of like. You'll ask him a question, and then he'll be able to condense the experience of working with that person into one sentence, and you know exactly everything that he feels about that work. And I think it's. I asked him about Marilyn Manson. He said, "Oh, we called him Brian in those days." And I was like, "Cool." I mean, it doesn't tell me anything, but I just like that's a really good way of expressing it.
It seems like the band grew up a lot if you compare the two albums now. Your first album, Young Chasers, had more festival and summer songs on it, like T-shirt Weather. And the new one sounds a bit more thoughtful and American, in my opinion. There's not much Britpop left. How come?
No. Well, I think it was quite a conscious decision to move away from. I think it's easy to have, if you have a successful album, I think it's easy to sit back and go, well, that worked, let's do it again. And I don't think that's something that, as a band, we ever really. All the bands that we respect are the ones that have tried new things on every album. You know, if you look at like bands like Arcade Fire or like Radiohead or something, they're the bands that I think we look at, like, I mean, amongst others. So it was a very conscious decision to move away from that sound and move into a different territory. And it was a very like daytime, summery album. So I think the obvious thing was to make it sound a lot more nighttime and darker, like different themes.
I think as well, there's still like some stuff that I would say that's quite British, like Out on My Own, the ballad. I think that to me is like very classic British songwriting.
It could be a Robbie Williams song.
It could be a Robbie Williams song.
That's how good it is. It's that good.
Okay, you also have gone political in Different Creatures. Does the Brexit have any influence on your music in terms of songwriting and in terms of organizing tours and concerts?
It's hard to say,
Not yet.
I mean, it's already affected my bank balance touring here. It's got more expensive, for sure. I think, I think songwriting, there's not really everything was written pre-Brexit.
In that period where everyone was so sure that it wouldn't happen, but I don't think any of the songs were really that concerned about it. Because
Yeah.
there was that confidence of like, there's no way this is going to happen.
Yeah,
But I guess maybe the third album will be the Brexit album.
it's,
I don't know.
It was a very, very depressing time.
Yeah.
You could walking around London, you could feel like people just the general mood had shifted significantly. But yeah, and I think the political stuff on the records, I think, is more, if anything, it's more humanist. It's not necessarily it's talking about the refugee crisis, and not just basically sort of saying just these are people. These are people, and it seems mad that we're not doing more to help them, which I think is less of a political message, more of a humanist one.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
You will play Glastonbury this summer again. Do you already know which stage you are playing?
We do.
Oh, you can't tell?
I think we can.
I don't know. I'm never sure, so I never say anything. We know.
It's a big one.
It's different to the one we did last time.
Okay, last time was the BBC introducing.
John Peel last time.
We did a secret set at the BBC introducing.
I saw that.
Were you there?
Yeah.
That was a great
was
great gig. But the difficult thing with that was we had the first one, and then I think we had like a 3-hour break.
No, it was more. It's like just 5.
5 hours. So the hard point was like trying to not drink between. Like you come off stage and you're like, I'm really excited, and then you go, I've got 5 hours. Let's not be too excited. We bought a blender with us and like loads of tequila to make like frozen margaritas, and I think we just started maybe about an hour too early. So by the time we got on stage in John Peel, I remember just going on, putting my guitar and going, oh fuck, oh fuck this.
I think that was my most drunk gig I've ever done. Was Glastonbury.
Yeah, it was an accident. Though. So you went to the secret one, but not the.
Yeah.
Did you go see Run the Jewels instead? Because that was our big clash on the John Peel one. Even my brother went to go see Run the Jewels instead of me. But
I don't remember what was on there. It's Glastonbury.
it's hard to.
Before you became a band, did you visit Glastonbury yourself?
No.
Never. The first band I saw at Glastonbury was us.
Okay.
Which is
cool too. Today in Berlin you'll be playing at the Privatclub, which is a quite small club. Do you also enjoy playing small gigs in other countries like here, or would you rather be in the?
It's just very different, isn't it? Like I think you were saying earlier, it's when you have a bigger audience, it's a little bit easier. It's really fun, but it's easier.
Okay.
Whereas I think a smaller room, it's more of a test. I think you have to be more on it. So it can be more rewarding.
Yeah. And I think as well, like I want to win people over in Germany. I think it's like if they came to watch us in the UK, it would be obvious because it's like big venue, big sound, big light show, and I think I want to prove to people in Europe it's like this is a thing, and you're going to enjoy it, and we're a good band. Come on, so it's almost like a challenge.
Okay, so festival season is starting soon. Can we find you on any German festival too?
I don't think so.
I don't think we haven't booked anything in yet.
No.
Maybe not yet. What are you looking forward to the most, considering the festivals?
We're going to Korea for the first time.
Oh, cool.
So I think at the moment, just any new places are always really interesting. And I think Korea is we've never been there before, so I'm really looking forward to that. For that reason.
Yeah,
I've heard it's a really fun place. Like a friend of mine just got back from there and said it was amazing. We went there with Two-Door Cinema Club. Had a great time.
Yeah, we did a festival a couple of years ago in Mexico, where we just flew to Mexico for the weekend, and it was just a very intense.
Yeah.
It was one of the most fun I've had on tour, and we're doing the same festival again in November.
Ah, cool.
So I'm looking forward to going back.
Yeah.
Okay, then we are through with it. Looking forward to seeing you on stage later.
Thank you. Should
Thank
be good.
you.
Yeah, no, should be good.